screen is dark, only the faint flicker of an oil lamp. A woman kneels alone in the dust. Her shoulders shake with silent sobs. Tears fall like rain on dry ground. She lifts her face to heaven and whispers one sentence that will shake the gates of God himself. But before that whisper changes history. She was the woman everyone forgot. Ancient Israel, a small mountain village called Ramah. The air smells of olive trees and fresh-baked bread. Children laugh in the streets. Men return from the field singing, yet inside one house there is only silence. Elkanah has 2 wives. Peninnah has many sons and daughters. Their laughter fills every room. Hannah has none. Her chair at the table stays empty, where a child should sit. Every year, the family travels to Shiloh, to the tabernacle of God, to offer sacrifice, to pray. Peninnah never lets Hannah forget. Sharp words at every meal. Mocking glances when the children play. Look, Hannah, another son to carry my husband's name. Hannah smiles with tight lips. But inside, something is dying. One night during the feast at Shiloh, the family eats lamb and unleavened bread. Elkanah gives Hannah a double portion of meat, because he loves her more, but love cannot fill empty arms. Hannah pushes the plate away. She stands, walks alone into the night, toward the tabernacle. The courtyard is quiet. Only the golden lampstand glows inside. Hannah stops at the entrance, her bare feet cold on the stone. She falls to her knees, and for the first time in years, she prays like a woman with nothing left to lose. Her lips move. No sound comes out. Her body rocks back and forth. Tears stream down her face. Eli, the old priest, sits on his chair by the door. He watches. He thinks she is drunk. But Hannah is not drunk. She is desperate. Now she speaks. The words pour out like water breaking a dam. Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery, if you remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him back to you, all the days of his life. No razor will ever touch his head. She promises everything, because she has nothing. The prayer rises like incense. Heaven leans in, somewhere beyond the stars. God turns his face toward a broken woman in Shiloh, and the story is only beginning. What happens when a prayer is so honest that even angels stop to listen? Stay with me, because the next moments will make you cry. And believe again. Hannah stays there, kneeling, until the sky turns pink with dawn. Eli finally understands. He places a trembling hand on her head. Go in peace, he says, and may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked. Hannah stands. Something is different. Her face is still wet with tears, but her eyes shine. The Bible says it plainly. Her face was no longer downcast. She hasn't received the answer yet. She only received the prayer, and that was enough to change her. The family returns home to Ramah. Days turn into weeks. Then one morning, Hannah wakes up different, a quiet knowing in her body. She places a hand on her womb and smiles the first real smile in years. Months later, the house that once echoed with Peninnah's children now echoes with a new sound. A baby's cry. Elkanah runs through the village, shouting. Neighbors pour out of their homes. They find Hannah holding a tiny boy, wrapped in linen, his face red and perfect. She names him Samuel, because I asked the Lord for him. The woman who once wept in bitterness now sings over her son. Her prayer has been answered, but the story is not over. In fact, the real miracle is just about to begin. Because Hannah made a promise in the dark. And God always remembers a promise. If this story is already moving you, gently tap that thumbs up so more hurting hearts can find it. And keep watching. Because what Hannah does next will wreck you in the best way. Years pass, like wind over the hills. Samuel grows. The boy who was born from tears. His dark eyes sparkle with questions. His tiny hands reach for his mother's face. Every morning, Hannah wakes before dawn, just to watch him breathe. But every morning, she also remembers. The promise, I will give him back to you. The words she whispered in Shiloh now feel like a knife turning slowly in her chest. The day comes too soon. Samuel is barely old enough to walk without falling. Yet the time of weaning arrives. In those days, that meant 3 years old. Old enough to leave his mother. Old enough to live in the tabernacle. Forever. The family loads the cart. 3 bulls, grain, wine, everything needed for the sacrifice. Samuel rides in Hannah's lap. He plays with the strings of her veil. Laughs when the cart hits a bump. He does not know this is goodbye. They reach Shiloh again. The tabernacle stands exactly as before. But this time Hannah is not empty. She carries the most precious thing she has ever held. She walks straight to Eli. The old priest's eyes widen. He remembers the weeping woman. Now she stands tall, radiant, unbroken. This is the boy, she says. Her voice does not shake. I prayed for him, and the Lord has granted me what I asked. So now I give him to the Lord. For his whole life he will be given over to the Lord. She kneels, places Samuel's small hand into Eli's wrinkled one. Then she does the impossible. She lets go. Samuel looks back at his mother, confused, but Hannah smiles through burning tears. and begins to pray again. Not with weeping this time, with triumph. This prayer is different. It is fire. It is thunder wrapped in gratitude. It will be sung by God's people for 1,000 generations. My heart rejoices in the Lord. My strength is lifted high. There is no one holy like the Lord. There is no rock like our God. The bows of warriors are broken, but the feeble become strong. Those who are full hire themselves out for food, but those who are hungry no more. She who is barren has borne 7, but she who has many sons pines away. The Lord brings death and makes alive. He sends some to the grave and raises others up. He lifts the poor from the dust and the needy from the ashes. For the foundations of the earth are the Lord's. On them he has set the world. Her voice rings across the courtyard. Priests stop. Worshippers turn. Even the wind seems to pause. Hannah is no longer the forgotten woman. She is the woman who moved heaven twice, once with her pain, once with her praise. She kisses Samuel one last time, turns, walks away. Without looking back, the camera lingers on her silhouette against the setting sun. Strong, free, empty arms held high. And something shifts in the spiritual air. Because a mother just proved that surrender is the greatest victory of all. But the boy she left behind is about to set an entire nation on fire for God. Stay with me, because the next few minutes will show you what happens when a promised child grows up in the presence of a promise-keeping God. If your eyes are wet right now, you're not alone. Hit that subscribe button quietly. We're going deeper, and it only gets more beautiful from here. Night falls over Shiloh. A little boy stands in the tabernacle doorway, bare feet on cold stone, linen robe too big for his shoulders. He looks toward the hills where his mother disappeared, then turns back to the flickering lamps. The priests are asleep. Eli's sons are worse than useless. They steal from the offerings. Sleep with women at the gate. The glory of God feels far away. But not from this child. Year after year, Hannah returns. Every spring, she brings a little robe she sewed through winter nights, each one bigger than the last. She places it around Samuel's growing shoulders, kisses his forehead, and leaves again. Samuel watches her go every time, but he does not cry anymore, because every night, something is happening. One night the lamps almost go out. The tabernacle is silent. Samuel sleeps near the ark of God. A voice calls, soft at first. Samuel, he runs to Eli. Here I am. Eli blinks awake. I didn't call you. Go back to sleep. It happens again. Third time, Eli understands. His old voice trembles with holy fear. Go lie down. If he calls again, say, Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Samuel walks back alone, lays down in the dark, heart pounding like a drum. Then the voice, clearer, closer. Samuel, Samuel. The boy sits up. Moonlight falls across the golden ark, and he answers with every ounce of his child heart. Speak, for your servant is listening. God speaks that night. Words too heavy for a boy. Words about judgment on Eli's house. Words about a new thing coming. Morning comes. Eli demands to know everything. Samuel is terrified to tell him, but he does. Every word, and Eli bows his head. Let him do what seems good to him. From that night on, the Bible says it simply and beautifully. The Lord was with Samuel as he grew up, and he let none of Samuel's words fall to the ground. Israel begins to whisper the name of the boy in the little robe. A prophet is rising, the last of the judges, the first of the prophets, the one who will anoint kings, and every year, a woman in Ramah receives word that her son is changing a nation. She never asked for fame, she only asked for a child. But God gave her a legacy that still speaks today. The barren woman became the mother of revival. Now pull in close. This is the moment I've been waiting to give you. You, yes, you watching right now. The one who has prayed in the dark. The one who has bargained with tears. The one who is still waiting. Hannah's story is your story. Your midnight prayer is not wasted. Your promise to give it back if God ever answers. He heard that too. Some of you are in the kneeling part. Some of you are in the letting go part. Some of you are in the little robe long wait part. Wherever you are, keep going, because the same God who turned a weeping woman into a worshiping warrior is writing the next chapter of your life right now. And one day, someone will tell your story and say, look what God did when one person prayed and refused to give up. Close your eyes for just 10 seconds with me, wherever you are, and pray the scariest, bravest prayer Hannah ever prayed. Lord, if you will look on my pain, if you will remember me, I will give it all back to you. Only use me. Now open your eyes. The story isn't over. Your Samuel is coming. Your song is coming. Your nation-shaking moment is coming. If this video wrecked you, healed you, or lit even a tiny flame of hope inside, do 2 things for me. First, hit that subscribe button and the little bell, because every week we tell another true story that proves God still moves when His people pray. Second, share this with one person who needs to remember they're not forgotten. One text, one DM, one quiet share. You might be the messenger who brings their breakthrough. I'm going to leave you with Hannah's own words, the ones she sang the day she walked away empty-handed and completely full. There is no one holy like the Lord. There is no rock like our God. Thank you for staying till the end. You are loved. You are seen, and heaven is still listening. See you in the next story.